30 seconds. All right, welcome back here to the Frederick C. Hobby Assembly Center on the campus of Grambling State University. 49-37, Lady Seminoles on top of Grambling State. Ossie Clark joining us here on the courtside, Santoria Black. Ossie, when you start looking at this game, you know, the Lady Tigers, if they're going to come back in this ball game, they have got to make sure they stop the easy shots on the offensive side, on the defensive side, and then, of course, they got to just keep playing their game.
And you're absolutely correct, Santoria. And when you say that, the Lady Tigers also have to do a better job rebounding the basketball. 12 offensive rebounds for the Lady Seminoles, 22 overall for the Lady Seminoles to Grambling's 14 right now. Another stat that you can look at as a positive for the Grambling Lady Tigers right now, 6 of 12 from behind the three-point range. So if they can get that going, it'd be a long night. Oh,
that's going to be an easy bunny there for Florida Thomas, but Thomas is the last one to touch it, and it goes back to Grambling, and their head coach, Sue Semro, not too happy. Jasmine Torian now with the basketball. Torian with 12 points in the contest, and it's going to be a foul against number 50, Chantrice White. That'll be her first team against Florida State in the half.
Yeah, that one looked like it was pretty obvious, but it may have been some incidental contact, Santoria, where the foot just got caught up that time for the Lady Tigers.
Of course, with this lineup of Florida State, Coach Freddie Murray playing a little bit bigger lineup today than normally that he would have. Three-pointer by Jasmine Torian from way outside. Rebound by Justice Coleman. Now back to Jasmine Boyd. Shot is up, no good. Ball tipped around and finally brought down by Florida State.
Good look that time.
And transition bucket by Chantrice White.
We just talked about what the Lady Tigers have to do a better job of. One of them is running out on transition defense, locating where people are on the floor at all times. That's the second time, or maybe the third time, Chantrice White has had an opportunity to go down the floor uncontested and hit a layup.
Grambling with the basketball, 54-37 to score. Machado to Jasmine Boyd, right side to Torian. Torian steps back from the three-point line, goes out of bounds off of Florida State, back to Grambling. Now coming into the lineup for the Lady Tigers, it's going to be 22, Deja McKinney, the 5'10 sophomore. I talked to Coach Freddie Murray, and he was just telling us just how much the Lady Tiger basketball team has had to endure during the offseason. Three-pointer up, no good, off the rim. Jasmine Boyd tried to get the ball, and it comes down to Amani Wright. Right across the half-court line to Alex. Inside, and it's going to be out of bounds, and it'll be a foul coming up against Grambling.
Yeah, I think that was going to go.
It's going to be Machado, third personal, yep.
Lady Tigers have had a couple of good looks here early in this game. Good three-point shots have gone up. They just can't hit the shot. Now, here's the hard thing about that. When you have 6'2", 6'3" down out there on the floor, 6'1", and you're trying to out-rebound that with 5'8" and 5'10", those numbers just don't add up.
That free throw off the mark, no good.
But what the Lady Tigers have to do in that situation, they got to get their bodies on the Lady Seminoles and start pushing them away from the basket and forcing them to go over the top. That's the second one as well. And the Lady Tigers are pushing the ball up the floor. Grambling needs a bucket right here.
Torian with the basketball. She's hit a few three-pointers. She was 2 of 9 coming into the game. Here's Jasmine Boyd with the shot. It's up, no good. And Lady Tigers can't get the offensive board. Alex gets it out to Thomas. Thomas goes in. It's going to be an offensive foul. Oh, they caught a blocking foul on Jasmine Boyd. Wow, that's a tough call right there.
Yeah, that's really tough. Like to see it on a replay if we could.
That's a tough call against Jasmine Boyd's second personal. You can see it actually coming down. And, oh, man.
Boy, I don't know. If she had maybe the slightest movement there at the end, maybe. Goodness gracious.
Jasmine Torian coming out of the ball game, 55-37 the score. Free throw up and good. Lady Tigers now trailing by 19.
This is those runs that we were telling you about that Florida State can go on in the game. They had one the other night where they went on a 20-point run.
And a steal here by Florida State.
Nice
alley-oop and a shot up and good by Thomas.
That's just good basketball right there. Putting the ball right in the right spot where Thomas could go up and get it.
Shakala Hill goes up. She can't hit it. Thomas with the rebound for Florida State. Up to Florida right. Right goes in. Reverse layup, good.
There's got to be a timeout coming here from Coach Murray. Try to settle his ladies down.
7:18 remaining. 60-37 now the score. Lady Seminoles have stretched this lead out to 23.
You can tell that there was a come-to-Jesus meeting at halftime for Florida State.
Three-pointer up and off the rim, no good by Deja McKinney. And Florida State going in. Thomas with going to the bucket, no good. Rebound, and it goes out of bounds off of the hands of Chantrice White. Into the contest now for Florida State, 25. Ama Degbian. She replaces Chantrice White. Of course, Degbian is from Grunberg, Germany.
This tells you how quickly games can turn from just a 12-point lead to start the quarter to a 23-point advantage for the Lady Seminoles of Florida State, and it happened just that fast.
D-Ray Taylor coming into the ball game for the Lady Tigers.
Got to be able to score this.
That's Williams. Tries to go for the bucket, no good. Ball is on the floor, and Shakala Hill comes away with it. Over to Taylor. Shot is up, no good. Rebound by Florida State. Ekomu goes up for the shot, no good. Ball tipped around. Thomas with a strong rebound and a putback.
That's what she does well, Santoria. She gets on the boards, and she's able to come away with another rebound. Good job that time by Thomas, and a timeout finally called.
And we'll take a timeout as well. With the score, Florida State 62, Grambling 37. We'll take this timeout. We'll be right back. Back here at the Frederick C. Hobdy Assembly Center on the campus of Grambling State University. Florida State on top of Grambling by the score of 62-37. 6:12 remaining here in the third quarter of play.
Lady Tigers have been scoreless here in the quarter. Really good defense being played by Florida State. A little ticky-tack call there.
That's going to be on, it looks like Degmian. Third personal on her. Shakala Hill goes in for the bucket. Good. Boy, stops that drought.
Yes. Had been on a drought for almost 4 minutes, Santoria. Maybe a little longer if you go back to the second quarter.
Degmian with the basketball, nearly stripped out of her hands. A foul coming up on Grambling.
That's one of those fouls as a coach you just have to take. Anything that'll help right now to stop this bleeding. Because officially, you're at the point where Rocky was asking Mick to cut him.
D-Ray Taylor with her first personal.
Right.
Shot up by Wright. It's blocked out of there. Nice defense by Deja McKinney. She has the basketball.
I remember when Amani was just a little girl. Now woman and playing big-time basketball.
D-Ray Taylor getting it to Shakala Hill. Three-pointer on the way by McKinney. Up, no good. Boy, rattled in and out of the bucket. Wright comes back down, fakes, pulls back on the three-pointer. Good.
She's just like a daddy. She has no conscience at all. She just pulls the trigger and does a good job faking, resetting, ball in the right place, keeps that elbow in nice and tight. You can tell her dad played in the NBA.
You got some of the folks from her family sitting behind the Florida State bench and her dad sitting over by the World Fame.
Hey, and here's the other thing. Her brother coaches here for Grambling. Old Lance. Played center. Oh, that's an ugly shot.
I think it was more trying to get that ball inside and ended up being a shot right now at the basketball.
Look at that move by, oh, that's
nice steal by D-Ray Taylor. Oh, McKinney lost control. Now gets it over to Machado, goes up for the bucket, no good, but she goes to the free throw line to shoot two. 4:21 remaining in this first quarter or third quarter play. Officials timeout with the score 65-39. Florida State on top. We'll take this timeout. You're watching Grambling basketball on the YouTube channel. It's at Grambling State University. Lady Tigers right now trail Florida State 65-39. Machado will go to the free throw line for the Lady Tigers. Coming into the ball game, she had not shot a free throw.
Wow.
In this season. First time at the charity stripe, and it's successful.
To be 6'2", 6'3", that's kind of hard to believe, you know.
Yeah. According to the stats, she had not gone to the charity stripe this year until today. And that's going to be a foul on the Grambling end.
Yeah, and I believe that foul is going to go against McKinney. She's right in the face of anybody that catches the ball. She is a hard-nosed defender.
Free throws coming up here. Komu. First free throw is up and good.
Still a 27-point advantage at this point for the Lady Seminoles. Gramblin's going to have to hit some quick baskets, but that pressure that they have as a man-to-man defensive unit is just amazing. They're big, they're long, they're athletic, and they make it very tough.
Machado goes up, blocks out of there. She gets the rebound. Nice work. Can get the bucket. Just a freshman from Brooklyn, New York.
Got a long way to go.
Went to Medgar Evers College Prep out in New York. And Komu fakes a three-pointer, steps inside, shot up, no good. Gets the rebound, goes back up.
Out.
Can't get it. Chantrice White goes up. She draws the foul.
The backside box out that time was necessary and needed. That's because McKinney jumped to go out to the defender instead of running 3/4 of the way and checking like most coaches want you to do. Close-out drill is what you look at right there. Good fake that time, missed shot, but then it gives Florida State another opportunity to get to the rim. And that's one of the areas that they've actually beat the Lady Tigers on, just the offensive rebounding situation. Of course, we talked about it. They're bigger. They're a little bit more advanced, I guess, in some skill sets, stronger too.
Boyd Coleman and Williams coming into the ball game. We talked about the youth, and you have to think about it. Grambling has 9 new players on this basketball team. Most of them have not played at this level. You look at Machado, who's a freshman. Of course, you've got Lenisha Jeans, transfer from East Central Community College. Foul coming up. Coleman is a freshman. Then you've got Deja McKinney, sophomore. She transferred from Arkansas Little Rock. Jacqueline Jones, of course, relatively new as well. So a lot of youth on this basketball team.
A lot of youth usually means that you're setting yourself up for years to come, and that's what you want. You want to be able to build on the legacy that is Grambling Lady Tiger basketball, and Coach Freddie Murray's done a really good job bringing these young ladies in. It just takes any team, Santoria, time to gel. They just need that time. Once they gel, they're going to be a much better basketball squad.
Jasmine Boyd with a three-pointer, no good. And nice job by D-Ray Taylor, and a foul will be drawn against Florida State. It'll be a shooting foul.
Good hustle that time by the Lady Tigers, wanting to get after the basketball, getting down there on the floor.
Foul against Woolfolk. D-Ray Taylor at the line. She was another Lady Tiger, according to the stats, that had not been to the free throw line yet this year.
And that's kind of odd because she's an aggressive basketball player. She believes in attacking the rim.
They have on the stats, at least. Out of the 3 games, D-Ray Taylor had not been. Machado had not been to the free throw line either.
She missed both of those free throws and a little disappointed at herself for missing it, but she's trying to make up for it on the defensive side of the ball.
Good defense by the Lady Tigers, but right there on the back door, bucket up and good. That's number 31, Savannah Wilkinson from London, England.
That's just a good backdoor cut. You mentioned it, and it was one of those slip cuts that was so quick until it didn't give the defense a chance to adjust.
Here comes Alex. Nice job by Jasmine Torrey, and she gets the ball out to D-Ray Taylor.
After missing that three-point shot, she comes back down on the defensive side of the floor, gets a steal for Grambling.
71-40 to score, 2:08 remaining in the third quarter. Santoria Black along with Ossie Clark here on GSU TV.
One thing I notice a lot is that Grambling catches the ball in awkward positions.
Shot up and good. That's Alexis Williams, the freshman from Memphis, Tennessee.
When I say awkward positions, it's where they're catching the ball not in position where they can actually turn and score the basketball easily. If you catch the ball on the wing, you can't be looking back out where you just caught the ball. You got to square up and kind of look at the rim. And a lot of times you're seeing where they're catching the ball in awkward positions coming off of those screens because they haven't got their feet set under them.
Boyd gets the ball to Deja McKinney. 71-42, a minute 37 remaining in the third quarter play.
Oh, that's going to call a foul right there.
On the floor.
Number 11, I think.
Is that Lopez?
Yep.
Well, you talk about an international team. Coach Sue Samrau from Florida State. Lopez, of course, is from Spain. And, of course, Degbian from Germany. Wilkinson from England. I don't believe there's a native Florida high school basketball player in that
lineup.
whole
team?
Massachusetts, couple from Texas, England, Nebraska. Shot up good by Alex.
That's what she does well, Santori. She shoots the basketball very well. Did a good job catching the ball off of that top screen, setting her shoulders up and her feet under her. Good job of just knocking that shot down.
She's in double figures. She has 10 points. Wright leads the team with 17. 3 players in the lineup with double figures. Thomas has 14 as well. D-Ray Taylor goes up. Can't hit the bucket. Ball is tipped out and rebounded. This time by Wilkinson. 5'11" freshman from London. Wright, three-pointer up on the way. No good. Wilkinson with the rebound and the bucket.
That's easy money that time for the big lady underneath. Wilkinson does a good job rebounding the ball. Nobody put a body on her. She was able to slip between 2 Grambling defenders and was able to finish that shot.
Three-pointer by Boyd, up no good. 21 seconds remaining here in this third quarter play. Thomas puts the ball behind her back. Looked like a travel right there. Goes out of bounds, back to Grambling.
It was a nice pass to the coach, though.
It sure was.
Thomas is not going to worry about that. It's just one bad play amongst many plays that have happened in today's basketball game for the Lady Seminoles.
75-43, 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Grambling with the basketball. McKinney goes off of the foot of Florida State. Back to Grambling. And 1 second remaining in this third quarter.
They were trying to screen the top man that time and skip it back over the top to McKinney so she could set up for the three-point bucket. She's just going to have to catch and shoot.
Torian with the three-pointer, no good. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score. Grambling trailing 75-43. We'll take this timeout. 75-43 the score. We'll take this timeout. We'll be right back here on GSU TV. Welcome back here to the Frederick C. Hobby Assembly Center. You can see there at the end of the third quarter, Lady Seminoles hustling, getting that basketball up and down the floor, and now the Lady Tigers will trying to get some things done. 75-43 the score. Lady Tigers trail. Underway here in the fourth quarter play here on a Sunday. Jasmine Boyd with the basketball, gets it to Shakala Hill.
Notice a change in defenses right there, saying they went from a man-to-man to a matchup zone.
And the Lady Tigers turn the basketball over. Here comes Wright. She goes in and gets the bucket.
Wright has been a Tiger killer today. That's her 19th point of the ball game. Can't say enough about how well she has played in today's game.
Got a lot of family that came over from Monroe, of course. And a block there, and here comes Wright with the basketball once again. Alex at the three-point line. Here's Thomas. She stops and pops from the free throw line up. No good. Ball is out of bounds off of Florida State. Back to Grambling.
You mentioned a lot of family coming over, and Monroe right down the road from Grambling State University, only about a 30-minute drive, depending on how fast you drive.
Now, for some, it's about 20 minutes. It's going to be a solid 30.
30, yeah. I'm not going to drive and pick up that ticket.
Shot up, no good. And a rebound by Florida State. Up and good.
Another second opportunity. Another second opportunity. Didn't mean to cut you off saying. By Florida State getting the basketball. Grambling had a lady in position, wasn't able to come away with that board. Gives Florida State another opportunity to score.
Machado with the basketball, left side.
These are also the types of games that the Lady Tigers will need if they're going to be successful playing in tournament action.
Shot clock winding down. Machado for the shot, no good. 4 black shirts around for the rebound. Talked about games down the road. They'll play on the 22nd against McNeese and then back at home on the 30th against Southeastern. Tip back is up and good. That's number 12, and that's Ekomu. And then, of course, Lady Tigers on the road for the entire month of December. Alabama, Arkansas State, North Carolina, Memphis, and Arkansas.
Ooh. It's a long stretch and a lot of tough basketball games. Awful.
Lady Tigers turn the ball over. And now Lady Seminoles turn the ball over.
2 awful plays. Bad pass, entry pass into the post, and then that long transitional pass that went to nobody.
Thomas coming into the game for Florida State, as well as Lopez. First conference matchup for the Lady Tigers. They will play New Year's Day against Alabama A&M, and then that Wednesday against Alabama State.
That's hate to say that, man. That when you have to make that swing, that's a hard swing.
Yep, they'll play. At least they'll play at home. Ekomu with the bucket, no good. Foul coming up against Grambling, and that's going to be against Machado. Hey, don't forget Bayou Classic coming up this weekend. By the way, it's Machado's 4th personal. Big game, 4 p.m. is the kickoff time, live from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. You can listen to all the action on the Grambling Sports Radio Network. The Beach 99.3, Magic 97. You can also listen on your iPhone or your Android. Peach993.com or the Retro Radio app. You can listen in many different ways to the Grambling football game this weekend. Bayou Classic, number 44 this weekend in New Orleans. Ballad Band's a Greek show, 6 o'clock that night on Friday. Big parade that morning around 9:30. So plenty of action going on around the New Orleans area. Of course, we'll get a chance just to kind of travel on Thursday, get a little food.
I think that's what most people enjoy the most, is getting out and being able to enjoy the culture, the food that's down there in the New Orleans area.
There's no question. Nice shot by Jasmine Torian. Breaks a little bit of a scoring drought. 83-45 now the score. Torian with 14 points. Shot up and good. That's number 13, Woolfolk.
I think that's Woolfolk's 8th point of the basketball game, huh?
10th.
10th.
She's got 10, Ekomu 15, and also Thomas with 14. Right now on the bench, I believe she's close to 20. Turnover in the paint. Can't make those turnovers against the number 17 team in the country.
No, they'll make you pay for it every time. That's good defense, though.
Shakala Hill coming back down on the opposite side. She goes in, gets the bucket. 85-47 now the score. 6:21 remaining in the ball game. One more non-conference game here at home, at least, for the Lady Tigers on the 30th against Southeastern. That game will be right here on GSU TV YouTube channel. Out of bounds, back to Florida State. In the ball game now for the Lady Tigers, to Takara Parsons, and for the Seminoles, it'll be Wright as well as Alex, 5'6" redshirt senior from Houston, Texas. And on this team for Florida State, I believe 4 seniors: Alex, Thomas, Degbian, White, all seniors. And Amani Wright, also a senior. Three-pointer on the way, no good.
Link got him that time. There's no way she was going to be able to beat the big girl with that wingspan.
Wright thought about the three-pointer, then pulled back, goes in for the bucket. Good defense as Wright was coming down the paint. Knocked out of bounds. And it'll be Lady Seminole basketball, 85-47. That was just good defense there.
Yeah, it was. Really good defense.
5:30 remaining here in the quarter. Timeout by Florida State. We'll take a timeout as well. Full timeout with the score: Florida State 85, Grambling 47. We'll take this 1-minute timeout. We'll be right back. Welcome back here to the Frederick C. Hobby Assembly Center here on the campus of Grambling State University. Lady Tigers trail 85-47. You see the Lady Tigers, Wright, just unbelievable today, trying to get up there and get no shots. The Lady Tigers have been good on rebounding when they can.
Yeah, when you talk about the rebounding numbers, 48-23.
Three-pointer on the way up, no good.
Florida State has doubled the Lady Tigers on the offensive boards. Good
Thomas,
move by
nice
Thomas.
move. She goes in for the bucket.
Make that 42 points in the paint now for Florida State. Only 16 in the paint for Grambling.
Thomas with 16, Wright with 19 for Florida State. Jasmine Torian with 14, and Deja McKinney with 13.
We talked about second chance opportunities, saying Florida State has 25 points off a second chance.
And it goes out of bounds off of the Lady Tigers back to Florida State.
And I don't think there's a lot that you can do about that. I mean, it's just the fact that they're a little bit, again, more skilled in some areas. And when you look at that length that the Florida State has, I mean, it's just massive to see a basketball team with 6'2", 6'3" girls out there that can just play.
Three-pointer by Wright on the way, up no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds, and it goes back to Grambling. You know, you talked about this, and you look at their schedule. After this one, they play against Sacred Heart Sanford, and then they got they got a big one coming up at Iowa. They'll play at James Madison Stetson. The big one for them is coming up on Sunday, December 17th. They'll take on Texas. That'll be a big one.
Big game because Texas is a very good basketball team. If you remember last year, Texas was an emerging team. Came on strong last year.
Yeah, and right now they're number 2 in the country. That'll be a huge matchup December 17th for Florida State.
Good move that time by Hill, getting all the way to the rack, blowing by the defender, going coast to coast, turning on right, putting a little kiss off the glass.
Alex with the basketball, and a foul coming up against Grambling, and that'll be on Justice Coleman, the third personal.
I thought she was about to put the STF on her. Sometimes, you know, the only way that you can win is by doing things that you don't want to do.
Well, I tell you what, we saw did some television yesterday, and there was some hard hitting in that Jackson and Alcorn game. Alcorn, of course, already going to the SWAC championship game.
But you know what? If you're Alcorn, you don't want to go into that game losing.
Yep.
And you lost to a Jackson State team that, might I say, is not a bad team. They just make a lot of mistakes.
Shot up by Alex, no good. And a foul coming up. Grambling basketball. That foul goes against Lopez. And speaking of SWAC championship game, of course, a week from this Saturday, Grambling Tigers trying to make their way to the SWAC championship game, but they have to beat Southern in the 43rd or the 44th Bayou Classic coming up this Saturday. The winner goes on, the loser goes home. So this is an elimination game. Tigers trying to get back to the SWAC championship game for the third straight year.
And look at this. It's Alcorn's fourth straight year, isn't it?
It is. They won the division 4 times. Look at that move. Nice shot by David McKinney.
Wow. Good job that time by McKinney, and a hand right there defensively.
Here's a shot again. David McKinney puts a little move on Alex and nothing but net.
Step back shot from about 17 feet. Boy, that thing was purer than Caesar's wife.
87-51 to score. Florida, throw me off. Florida State on top of Grambling with 2:43 remaining in the contest. I talked to Freddie Murray, and he talked about all of the challenges that this team has faced this year. Coach Diaz, of course, had a death in her family before the season started.
Yeah.
Jasmine Torian had a death in her family right when the season was getting ready to start. And then, of course, Monisha Neal just lost a relative. And so there's been a lot of challenges here for this Grambling Lady Tiger basketball team just in the last several months.
Yeah, this year has been a year of challenges, though, Sam.
Wright for 3, good. 22 now for Wright. Imani Wright, 5'9", redshirt senior.
Coming home and showing out in front of the fans, the family.
Here is Deja McKinney, three-pointer, no good. Alex lets the ball go out of bounds, and it's Grambling to Florida State basketball. 90-51, 2:19 remaining in the contest.
With 2 minutes left to go, I don't believe Florida State's going to reach that 100 mark. But they scored 100 points against North Florida.
Oh, yeah.
109 to be exact.
Scored 102 against Columbus State in the exhibition.
These young ladies can really play.
Right again, three-pointer on the way, no good. Wraparound layup up and good. That's Ikomo. 92-51, 152 remaining in the ball game.
You can tell that Coach Murray is trying to play different combinations to see who can do what when the season.
Traveling violation charge to Grambling.
When the season will actually get kicked off, and when I talk about the season, I'm really talking about conference season, what different combinations can do in different situations.
Three-pointer on the way by Wright again, no good. Thomas with the rebound, back to Wright, inside. Shot up and good by Degmian.
She didn't get the three-point bucket to go down, but guess what she did do? She was able to get the assist right there. Good job of kicking it down inside, and a nice finish. Like the fact that all the post players from Florida State keep that ball right up underneath their chin. They don't ever drop the ball down.
94-51, 107 remaining. in the contest.
Nice move.
Inside, bucket good, 94-53 the score.
Yeah, McKinney did a very good job of getting to the rim, saw the crease, got in the middle of the lane, and was able to knock it down.
Alex with the basketball, 51 seconds remaining. I think Wright wants to get one more. Thomas at the elbow, defended by Torian. Thomas goes up, straight up. It's a foul coming up. Well, you know, we look at the preseason order of finish in the ACC. Head coaches poll has Florida State finishing 4 after Notre Dame, Louisville, and Duke.
ACC is a tough conference to be a part of, and especially over the last couple of years, Sam.
Yeah.
I mean, no mistake about this. Duke has been good for a long time. Notre Dame has come on over the last couple of years. Elena Beard, you remember, she played at Notre Dame. Or was it Duke? No, she played at Duke.
Duke. From Shreveport.
I remember watching her play in Shreveport.
When you look at the preseason All-ACC team, Shakila Thomas was on that team, on the Blue Ribbon panel team, also made the head coaches poll.
I may have been wrong, Sam. They may have a chance to get to 100.
Lady Tigers will try to stop that effort. 37 seconds remaining. Grambling with the basketball and a turnover by Jasmine Torian. Three-pointer by Wright on the way, no good. Back to Wright, three-pointer again. Ooh. Off the mark, it goes out of bounds. 21 seconds remaining in the contest.
They're trying to let her put on a human highlight reel right now.
And Como and Thomas are coming back in the ball game. Both of those ladies are starters, and Wright comes out, and she comes out and gets a round of applause from her family who made the trip from Monroe and North Louisiana area. Lots of cousins, and as some of the folks says, aunties and uncles.
Yes, I was about to say nieces, nephews, relatives, and friends.
96-53 the score, 12 seconds left, and that will do it. Lady Tigers lose a tough one, 96-53 to Florida State. They will get ready to play McNeese on the road November 22nd, and then back at home November 30th against Southeastern Louisiana. We'll take this timeout, a 2-minute timeout. We'll be right back. Florida State, joined by the head coach, Freddie Murray. And Coach Murray, this was one of those games you talked about. We got to play top competition to find out where we are. We don't want to just play for the SWAC, but play for a national tournament.
Exactly. It was a great game for the fans today to get a number 17 team in the nation to come in your gym and play. We knew it was going to be a tough task from start to finish. It was a tale of two halves. We played well in the first half, and we left our game in the dressing room for the second half.
Coach, when you start looking at this, of course, Jasmine Torian, she came out, added some big points today, as well as a couple other players. Deja McKinney played well as well. Talk about those two.
Yeah. Jasmine Torian and Deja McKinney played well for us tonight, which they have to. They're veteran players. The stages are too big for them. We got a lot of young players on our team that was like deer in the headlight with some of the stuff that was going out on the court. And that's going to happen early, especially when you got so many new players. But we went into the game and we knew that the difference was going to probably be inside. We didn't have our number one post player, Monisha Neal, tonight, nor the other night when we played against Xavier. Kaylin Gideon didn't play tonight, so we knew we was going to be thin inside, and we knew that that was the advantage they were going to have, and it worked to their advantage.
Well, Coach, now one of the things that you guys will get ready to do, McNeese coming up this week, and then you'll get a little bit of a break for Thanksgiving, and you'll have Southeastern back at home, and then the entire month of December you're on the road. And I mean, I looked at the schedule, Coach, and it is murderous road. You got Alabama, Arkansas State, North Carolina, Memphis, Arkansas.
Yeah. One of the things that we got to stress on with this team is we got to finish. I think in most of the games that we played all year, we played 3 quarters, but we haven't really played a total 4 quarters, a whole game. I think today we did some good things in the first half that we can build on. December is going to be brutal, but like I said, I wouldn't have it no other way. We need to be tested early so we know what we have going into conference play, but I think we're going to be fine. I think we're going to be fine going into January. Well,
Coach, of course, we'll see you coming up next week as well, in a couple of weeks when Southeastern comes to town. Good luck on the road against McNeese.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming out.
That's it for our broadcast here today. Final score, 96-53. Of course, Lady Tigers lose a tough one to Florida State. And, of course, the return of Miss Amani Wright coming back to Grambling State University. Of course, her dad, Larry Wright, former coach here and player. We'll see you next time as Southeastern comes to town. We'll have that game on GSU TV. So long, everybody.